Ever feel like, you're searching for something,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not even sure what it is?
Yeah.
Well, today's deep dive, it's about a text
Oh, okay.
that claims to be like a map, but not to some, far-off land.
Right.
More like to a different way of seeing, I don't know, the world, ourselves, the whole thing.
I like it.
We're diving into the Diamond Sutra,
Yes.
cornerstone of Mahayana Buddhist thought,
It's a
right?
huge one, yeah.
And we've got Red Pine's translation and commentary with us
Always helpful.
to help unpack it all.
And it's not just an intellectual exercise. You know?
Oh.
This is about, like, really experiencing reality
Whoa.
in a completely new way.
So no pressure then.
Laughter.
All right, let's set the scene for people. Imagine yourself back in ancient India. Around, say, 400 BC, summer day, you're in Anathapindika's garden, which isn't just any garden, right?
Right. No, this garden, it was designed for generosity, like specifically.
Like-
And at the Pittica, he was this wealthy merchant, and he created this garden as an offering
Wow.
to the Buddha and all the followers, you know.
So a garden built on generosity. I feel like we're already getting into Diamond Sutra territory here.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all connected. Now, picture this. Buddha's there, surrounded by his disciples.
Okay.
And among them is Subhuti,
Subhuti, right?
known for his deep understanding of emptiness.
Okay, emptiness. I gotta say, for those of us who haven't, spent their mornings meditating on a mountaintop, what are we talking about here?
What's that? Right. So emptiness is not that things don't exist,
Okay.
but it's more that nothing exists the way we usually think it does.
Oh, interesting.
The Diamond Sutra, it's like it's challenging us to let go of that idea that things have this fixed, independent self.
So less about the world actually being empty, more about our perceptions needing an update.
You got it. And the Diamond Sutra suggests this misperception. It's at the root of a lot of suffering.
Okay, yeah, that's starting to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where does this whole Diamond Sutra thing even begin?
So the Buddha, right off the bat, he calls his teaching a raft you need to let go of.
A raft you let go of. Okay, that feels like one of those Zen riddles designed to make your head spin.
Laughter, right.
But it's an image, though, isn't it?
Powerful one.
And it gets at something, right? Why this text has stuck around for so long.
For sure, because the Diamond Sutra, it's not about clinging to beliefs or, like, doctrines.
Right.
It's about using these teachings to, reach a different shore, see things in a new way, and then let go.
So if the Diamond Sutra is the raft, what's the other shore we're aiming for? What are the big ideas here? This raft you let go of thing?
Yeah.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it?
For
'Cause,
sure.
like, we're using this text as a guide, but we're not supposed to, I don't know, get too attached to the guide itself.
It's not about the words on the page, right?
Right.
It's about really internalizing the wisdom. And one of the biggest pieces of wisdom here
Yeah.
is this whole concept of emptiness.
Okay, right. Emptiness. We touched on that a bit earlier.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's one of those things that's, I don't know, kind of hard to wrap your head around.
It's slippery.
It is. So how does Red Pine help us, actually grasp it?
Well, he points out that the word for emptiness in Sanskrit, sunyata,
Okay.
it doesn't actually mean nothingness. It's pointing to something beyond, like, our usual way of thinking about things.
So not empty, like an empty box?
Right.
Empty of...
Empty of inherent existence.
There we go. Inherent existence. Okay, so help me out here.
Okay.
Because most of the time, we see the world as like a bunch of separate things, right?
Yeah, totally. We divide it all up.
I am separate from you. This microphone is separate from the room.
Exactly.
But the Diamond Sutra is saying, not so fast.
The Diamond Sutra is saying that's an illusion.
Okay, so more like everything's connected, everything's changing, nothing's really fixed or solid in the way that we think it is.
Bingo. You're getting it. And the thing is, that understanding,
Yeah.
it's incredibly freeing. Because think about it. If nothing has this fixed, independent self,
Okay.
then we don't need to be bound by those rigid ideas of who we are either.
Whoa, okay, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
And that actually leads perfectly into another big theme here, the illusion of self.
Big one. Yeah.
Which, I mean, that comes up in a lot of different spiritual traditions, right?
Absolutely. Though it's often misunderstood.
Oh, how so?
It's not about there being literally no self.
Right.
But that this self we cling to, the one defined by, like, our thoughts and emotions and all that,
Yeah.
that's impermanent, always changing.
So, like, I might feel like me right now,
Sure.
but that me is different from, like, 10 years ago, me.
Exactly.
Or even, like, 10 minutes ago me.
Exactly. And the Diamond Sutra, it's encouraging us to see through that illusion.
The illusion of a solid, unchanging self.
That's the one.
Easier said than done.
Well, 100%.
Right.
It's like our whole lives are built around this idea of me.
Right.
But there's this great story Red Pine talks about in his commentary.
Okay.
It really illustrates this.
Hit me with it.
There's this Zen master, and someone asks him, what was your greatest realization?
Okay. Classic Zen master setup.
Right. And the master, he just says, when I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm tired, I sleep.
That seems almost too simple.
Right.
What's so profound about that?
He's not denying his experiences, right?
Right, okay.
He's just not clinging to this fixed idea of himself as like the one who's hungry or the one who's tired.
He's just being present with it.
Exactly. Meeting each experience as it is.
So by letting go of that rigid sense of self, you're actually able to engage with life more fully.
More fully, more authentically.
Interesting.
And this connects to another important theme in the Diamond Sutra, this paradox of merit and practice.
Paradox time. Okay, I love a good paradox. Lay it on me.
All right, so the Diamond Sutra, it stresses generosity, doing good deeds, right?
Makes sense. Seems like a pretty common theme.
Right. But here's the thing.
What's the catch?
It also tells us that true merit, it comes from acting without any attachment to rewards.
Oh, interesting.
Or even to the idea of ourselves as the doer of the good deed.
So it's like, do good things, but don't pat yourself on the back for it.
It's even more radical than that.
Oh.
It's realizing that this whole idea of a separate me who's doing good and racking up cosmic brownie points,
Yeah.
that's another layer of the illusion.
Okay, that is a lot to unpack.
Right.
So how do we even begin to live that way? To act without being attached to the outcome or the me that's doing it?
Well, that's where the actual practice of the Diamond Sutra comes in.
Okay.
It's not just about understanding these ideas in your head.
Yeah.
It's about embodying them.
And that, I'm guessing, is where those 3 I's you mentioned come into play.
You got it. Prajna, Dharma, Buddha.
Vaguely remember those. A little refresher wouldn't hurt, though.
Of course. Think of prajna as the eye of wisdom.
Okay.
It's that ability to see through illusions, to see emptiness directly.
So prajna is seeing past the surface level of things.
Exactly. And then there's dharma, the eye of truth.
Okay.
This is understanding how everything's connected, how everything is impermanent, always changing.
So dharma is like seeing the whole web of relationships, the constant flux of reality.
You're getting it. And then finally we have Buddha, the all-encompassing eye.
Right.
This is that complete realization that there's no separation.
No separation between
Us and the world, subject and object, all one thing.
Wow, okay. It's like each eye builds on the last one,
Right.
revealing a deeper and deeper level of reality.
Exactly. The Diamond Sutra is guiding us to cultivate those 3 eyes. See the world and ourselves more clearly.
And the more clearly we see.
The more freely we act.
Yeah.
The more compassionately we live.
It's almost like the Diamond Sutra is giving us a new set of lenses to see the world through.
I like that.
But how do we actually put on those lenses? How do we go from intellectually understanding all this to actually living it day to day? It feels like we've been like building up to this,
So what?
Actually living the Diamond Sutra, not just, reading about it.
It's one thing to get the concepts.
Right, like emptiness, no self, acting without attachment.
Yeah.
But to actually integrate that into like daily life,
That's the real work.
that's where it gets real. So it's not like we achieve perfect understanding and then boom, instant enlightenment.
Laughter. Always. No, the Diamond Sutra itself, it emphasizes practice.
Okay.
It even says that just reciting the text
Yeah.
can create merit, clarity.
Wait, hold on. So it's not like we're chanting some magic spell here.
Not quite. Think of it more like tuning an instrument. Every time we engage with this text, really engage with it, we're kind of like recalibrating our perception,
Oh, interesting.
reminding ourselves of these deeper truths.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do we, take those reminders and actually put them into action?
Right.
How do we live this wisdom in the midst of, traffic jams and overflowing inboxes, all the messy stuff of life?
Well, Red Pine's commentary has a lot of great stories
Yeah.
about, Zen masters embodying these teachings.
Oh, I like where this is going.
And one that always sticks with me.
Hit me with it.
This student asks his teacher, how do you practice the way?
Okay, classic Zen master setup. How does the master respond?
He says, when I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm tired, I sleep.
Okay, that seems, I don't know, almost too simple. Like, isn't that just what everyone does?
Exactly. That's the whole point.
So,
The Diamond Sutra, it's not about escaping the world or pretending we don't have these basic human experiences.
right.
It's about approaching everything with, clarity, presence,
Okay.
not getting all caught up in this fixed idea of me.
Right. So the master, he's not denying he's hungry or tired. He's just like meeting those needs in the moment.
Exactly. No drama about it.
So it's not about being like some emotionless robot. It's about being fully present, but without all the, I don't know, the baggage we usually bring to things.
100%. And that's something anyone can practice.
Right. You don't have to be a Zen master to relate to that.
Exactly.
So what would you say, like, what's the most important thing for people to take away from this whole deep dive if they only remember one thing?
That's a good question.
What's the one thing you really want them to hold on to?
Remember how the Diamond Sutra talks about our perceptions
Yeah.
creating our reality?
Yeah, powerful stuff.
So the question is, what kind of reality are WE creating?
Whoa.
With every thought, every action, every choice.
Oh, okay, that's something to think about. It's like the Diamond Sutra. It's not just this ancient text. It's like a wake-up call.
It is. And like any good wake-up call, it's up to us to decide if we're going to hit snooze or get out of bed.
I love that.
Ah.
This deep dive, it's given me a lot to chew on, and I'm sure our listeners are feeling the same way.
Me too.
Thanks for, for guiding us through all this.
Happy to do it.
And for everyone listening, remember, this is really just the beginning, right?
Oh yeah, the real journey starts when we take these insights and, put them into practice.
Exactly. So consider this your invitation to keep exploring, keep questioning,
Keep diving deeper.
and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.